Hey, this is Michael Rosso from the Film Photography Podcast Internet Radio Show, here today in our studio to talk to you about Kodak 110 film format. This was a film format introduced by Kodak in 1972. It was the successor to their very, very popular 126 format and their line of 126 Instamatic films. The folks at Kodak developed a much smaller camera and a smaller gauge of film called the Pocket Instamatic, and here it is. Here is the Kodak 1972 Pocket Instamatic camera. The film gauge was 16 millimeter in length, and with Kodak, both the 126 format and the 110 format were designed for amateur photographers for ease of use. Perhaps you remember this from when your granddad or your parents may have had this. Just about every household had it. And the thing about it was that it was so easy to use. Cartridge, camera, pop the cartridge in, close the door, and you're pretty much ready to rock and roll. This format, Kodak 110, was hugely popular in the 1970s. There wasn't a night that would go by on television where you would not see a TV ad promoting this camera outfit.
You know, it's such fun to give somebody something they've never had before. It's what I got from my wife. Something so new, it wasn't even around last Christmas. It's the Kodak Pocket Instamatic camera. There it is. No, it isn't. Where did I put it? Got to see this camera. It's about, that big. To load it, you just slip in a film cartridge. She's going to love it if I can find it. The great thing about it is it's so small, fits right in your pocket. It's even smaller than I remembered it being. Now I can show you how great it is. You can carry it with you wherever you go. It's easy to load. Maybe a small camera, but it takes big, sharp, clear pictures. Look at these. Aren't those great? The Kodak Pocket Instamatic camera starts at less than $28. The complete outfit's a little more. Just tell them to remember which pocket they put it in. The Kodak Pocket Instamatic camera.
This is the Kodak Pocket Instamatic camera package that was heavily marketed in the 1970s. And this format and style of film was popular through the 1980s and even into the early 1990s. The format was so popular that many other brands followed suit, developing their own cameras. Here is the JCPenney 11 camera. And very much like the Kodak Pocket Instamatic, it used what's known as the cubes. And cubes are flash, a flash cube. And back in the old days, in order to get a flash from your camera, you needed to actually use a flash cube. This would go on the top of your 110 camera. Then you'd be ready to shoot. As the 70s wore on, other companies jumped in. For example, here's the Vivitar 600 110 camera with built-in flash. And you may ask,
well, gee, Mike, is 110 still around today?
And the answer is absolutely. The now very popular Holga brand is making 110 cameras. Here is an example of the Holga Micro 110 camera. Little eyepiece. And you would just snap your film in and take your shot. Here's the Holga Pocket 110 camera. If you notice, the Holga 110 TFS camera is very reminiscent, almost identical to the Vivitar 600 camera from 1980. The Holga camera, very much like the earlier 70s and 80s models. You just take the 110 cartridge, it pops right in the back. Close the back. This has a flash. To advance, click this on the bottom with your thumb. And now we're ready to take a picture. I'm going to take a shot of our cameraman, Joe Colbeck, today. 1, 2, 3. And for folks who are using Holga cameras, you may be used to very lo-fi shots that have light leaks and all sorts of camera errors that in the past would have been considered unacceptable, but today are actually looked for. Folks using the Holga 110 will not be disappointed. Holga 110 TFS and the Holga Micro 110 both deliver the amazing Holga light leaks that everyone has come to expect from Holga cameras. So whereas in the 1970s, every family would have a pocket Instamatic camera, it would be the camera of choice for family events and any amateur photography needs. Today, it's more for film enthusiasts and folks who really just want to have fun with it. And the great thing about 110 photography today is the fact that it produces a very grindy, grainy look. So if you're looking for that grindy kind of street look, it gives your photography some character. And today it's used more by amateur photographers. Today it's used more by artists than it is folks at home. Sadly, both Kodak and Fujifilm do not manufacture 110 film anymore. Production stopped in 2009, but there is a small stock available online at ebay.com or thefrugalphotographer.com or our very own filmphotographystore.com. And there are some threads online talking about the fact that 110 film is going to be manufactured again in the year 2011. Traditional film photography has really come full circle with a lot of film enthusiasts seeking out 110 film, looking for that unique style and look that you cannot get from digital photography and cannot get from any other format. Until next time, this is Michael Rosso for the Film Photography Podcast. Please tune in to our internet radio show at filmphotographypodcast.com. Keep on shooting, and see you next time.